Carter, and I am the owner of MCB Nurse Consultant, and I am the #1 DON coach that helps directors of nurses and long-term care to increase their impact, their influence, and also their income. And we do that by teaching them leadership skills, personality science, emotional intelligence, and also how to build strong teams and be able to have that great satisfaction with their team members, their residents, and their family members. I just wanted to get on here today, and we're talking, this is our 4th video for a 4-part series, Succeed Together, the Team Readiness for Unexpected Surveys and Long-Term Care. We've had 3 videos thus far, and this is our 4th video. Week 1, we talked about understanding the importance of team readiness. In that video, we talked about how to get your team to understand how important it is to work as a team and be able to give your team different tasks to help them to be more enriched and help them be able to help you as a director of nursing. As a director of nursing, we have a tendency to take everything on, and it's too much for us. We have to be able to build our teams up and have our teams to be able to be successful in their roles and be able to be successful, be engaged and be successful for our residents. We learned about the four different personalities from the bank methodology and how to utilize the understanding the personalities to help you build stronger teams. In week 4, we talked about communication strategies for effective preparedness. I'm sorry, in week 2, we talked about communication strategies for effective preparedness. Being able to be effective with your communication is so important, from a leader to your team, and also from your team to a leader, and from your team to each other, from each team member, and for your residents and family members. We want to make sure that everybody in the organization, especially in the nursing department, is able to effectively communicate with each other and understand each other's personalities and be able to be effective with your surveyor. Learning the right communication and how each personality is able to be a recipient of the communication is so important. And we also talked about how we could do that with the bank methodology. In week 3, we talked about our operational preparedness and protocol and procedure adherence. It is so important that the team knows what the policy and procedures are, what the regulations are, and how to stay within the grasp of your regulations and your policies and procedures. Being able to put your team members together to teach them the policies and procedures, help review policies and procedures, and that way they will be ready for any type of survey, whether it's your annual, unexpected, or unexpected survey. We put a lot of, as directors of nurses, we do put a lot of preparedness for our annual, but we also want to be prepared for those unexpected, and you want your team to be prepared of what to say, how to say it, and when to say it. This week, we're going to be talking about building resilience and team spirit. I just want to briefly, before we start this week's content, want to briefly go over our 4 personalities with the bank methodology. The bank methodology is a form of personality science that helps with communication, leadership, emotional intelligence, business intelligence, and also helping you to be able to be a stronger leader. The 4 personalities is our blueprint, action, nurturing, and knowledge. We know how our blueprints are very structured individuals, very traditional individuals, and they do not like to take risk. Those important people that you have to help your roadmaps, to help you plan out your protocols and help you review a lot of your policies. Our action people are are risk takers. They want to be able to be the champions. They're very motivated, and they always want to win. And they are people that you can give them very little detail, give them bullet points, and they're going to take the challenge, they're going to take the task, and they're going to run with it, and they're going to get the team motivated. Then we have our nurturers. Our nurturers are people that are there are team builders. They want to have a sense of community. They want to have that personal growth, and they want to have that authenticity. a lot of times with your team, with your nurturers, those are the individuals when you're in survey or have unexpected surveys, that they're going to be the individuals to go check on the team. That's going to go check on and see how the team is holding up. We have a tendency to be so boggled down with surveyors that we forget about how our team is feeling in the middle of survey because we are so stressed with dealing with the surveyors. And then you have your knowledge. Your knowledge people are going to be the ones that help you prepare in the back end with your data analytics, making sure the processes that you put in place, that we have great outcomes, what type of trends that we have, and how to move forward. So let's talk about building resilience and a team spirit for our week 4. When we talk about building resilience, we want to address strategies for maintaining the morale and motivation during high-pressure situations. Any type of survey can be a high-pressure situation. Any type of plan, anytime that you do a plan of correction, even before the surveyors come in, if you were to have any type of incidents that you want to get ahead of the game and do plan of correction prior, that can be a high stressful situation, high pressure for yourself as a director of nursing and especially for your team. We want to be able to understand and communicate very, very clearly, utilizing facts and figures to showcase the importance of maintaining the morale and the motivation. When we look at using facts and figures, we're really looking at how we're going to talk to our blueprints and our personnel and our blueprints and our blueprints and our knowledge, because they like the facts, they like the figures. Remember, the action people, they just want bullet points, and our nurture wants to be able to make sure that they have that emotional connection. But you want to make sure when we are trying to build the teams that you have that one-on-one relationship with each individual and each communication. So you need to build that prior to any type of survey. If you're a new director of nursing first coming in, you're bogged down with so many different things that you have to be able to fix. The most important thing as a new director of nursing is building relationships with your team. Once you build those relationships with your team will be able to help you put the processes and plans together. And whatever is broke, they will help you fix it. You want to be able to make sure that you understand the personalities and you kind of adhere to their personalities and communicate and such. Again, for your blueprints, you want to make sure you have structure plans and structure plans of how to motivate them. What motivates them? Following the rules motivates blueprints. Making sure that we're not taking unnecessary risk motivates blueprints. Having details motivates blueprints. Your actions, you want to make them feel confident. You want to give them strategies, and you want to have them involved. To motivate the other team members. They're going to uplift the morale. Give them different challenges. If they're in a certain neighborhood, you do different challenges for survey readiness and make them the captain of the team. Your nurturers, again, you want to make sure they have that connection, that you have that connection prior. When you have your nurture individuals, it's very, very good to have that connection and make sure you check on them very, very often, because you'll lose that authenticity if you don't have that close-knit relationship with them. You want to be, and with your knowledge, you want to just be able to give them a chance to process. A lot of knowledge people, they're very, very, it takes them a minute to process, and they have to process the whole concept themselves and look at the big picture. And it's not that they're being distant. They will come and they will reach out to you, but be able to give them a chance to process it. You can have the conversation with them and then come back and check in a couple days and give them a chance to process. But when they have questions, make sure you have the answers, or you're able that you get back to them with the answers. You also want to have you want to make sure that you have the emphasis of teamwork and collaborations. Highlight positive things that comes from working as a team. Highlight the things when they do work together as a team. Make sure that you give them the recognition. Make sure you're out there working with them as a team. Make sure that your supervisors, your ADONs, your wound nurse, your infection controllers, they're also working with your LPNs and your CNAs as a team, because that is going to keep the morale going. So when you do have high stress situations, everybody's able to come together come together as a team. You want to have the teamwork as a foundation. So when we have those high stress situations, it's not more stress on any individual. You want to make sure we encourage each team members to support each other and foster resilient team culture. When you want to foster resilient team culture, my advice is to, again, you're going to know your team members and know your team members have been there for a long time. Because your team members have been there for a long time, 75% of them want to make sure that we do the right thing. You may have that 25% that are we don't want to say that are negative, but 75% of them deep down do have positive, and they might not be showing it because they've gone through changes too. We have a tendency to forget how the team feels when they go through different changes with management, go different changes with the company, the organization, go different changes with residents leaving and deaths of residents. Sometimes we forget about how they feel, and that affects them and affects the morale of the team. So make sure you have those connections with your team members that have that seniority and understand their personality and be able to talk to them in their personality. You want to celebrate the diversity and individual strengths in each in your organization, in each department. You want to recognize each other and bring the uniqueness to the table. You may have some team members that are very, very, very strong in certain areas. I have some team members. I'm going to give you an example. I have my facility has 4 different neighborhoods, but one of my neighborhoods, my team members in this particular neighborhood, every month they have a birthday party for the team members in the neighborhood, whether if there's extra companions that work in the neighborhood with residents, or or for the residents, they have a birthday party. Well, I found out there was another, and they are very, very, they're action and nurturing people. So everybody knows about what they do for these birthday parties. But then I had another neighborhood that I found out because I was having a conversation with a team member up there. They're doing something similar, but they're really not telling anybody. But so I wanted them to be recognized for what they were doing also. So I would not have known that if I didn't go out there and have those conversations with them. You want to cultivate the environment of mutual respect and support. Make sure that you show that mutual respect as a leader to your team, and they will show it to you. You know, every day when you go on the neighborhoods or you go onto your units, have a conversation. It doesn't necessarily always have to be, did you do this? Have you done that? How are you today? How are you doing today? How's your kids? What's going on with you? What did you do fun for the weekend? You got any plans for the weekends? Just have general conversation with your team, because that will boost the morale, because it shows that you're connected and it shows that you care. And when you do that, that's going to keep your team spirit, which is going to keep you when you have stressful situations such as unexpected surveys. This is going to keep that team around. Listen, we have to do what's right for our residents. We have to do what's right for our organization. And that will build resilience. Your resilient team members are the ones that have been there through the storm. And recognize them, because they have stayed and they have put the work in, and they have stayed there through the bad days and the good days. And I don't want to say you need to. My best advice to you is to recognize them and give them the acknowledgement of being resilient. Now, there may be things as a newer DON or even as a seasoned DON that you may have to change, and that's understandable. But when you do change it, you do not have to reflect that what was wrong was bad. We just needed, things have changed, and we found a better way of how to handle it, because things have changed. You want to make sure that you continue to uplift them and embrace them as much as you possibly can. You have to find ways to discuss ways to debrief and learn from survey experiences for continuous improvement. Once the high stress situation has calmed down, encourage the team to delve into the survey results. When you get the survey results, when you do that education for whatever you may get, if you got a citation, when you do the education, be very transparent with them. What happened? Why it happened? Don't just go in there, give them the education. We got cited for 689 because we had a fall, and the person, when they fell, they broke their hip, and we didn't get a chance to report it until late. Or we had a fall because a person transferred somebody incorrectly, and the resident was hurt, and now we have to do this education because we are cited. That's, to me, that is not being engaged. Tell the truth. Be honest. We had a situation that we got cited in our survey for 689. The reason 689 is incidents accident. Supervision of hazardous incidents accident is a federal tag. We got cited for it. It's one of the most cited tags in the United States. Explain that to them, to let them know this may happen to any nursing home across America. And it's not just you. Explain that to them. We got cited for this situation. The resident was hurt because this team member did not follow the policies and procedures. It's so important that we follow these policies and procedures because we do not want our residents to be harmed. Or if it's a situation, the resident did have a harm, we did not turn it in on time. If it was something that you did as a director of nursing, as an administrator did, take accountability. Be honest, and then you have to fix it. Or if you expected somebody else to do it, or maybe they didn't like the way you did the investigation, whatever the case may be, take accountability and then teach your team for them to move on. It's very, very important to be transparent with them. And it helps them learn how to avoid having these problems again. You want to make sure that you're able to help your knowledge peoples to analyze the whole situation. You want to make sure that you still want to nurture your individuals when you're giving the explanation, and then let them know that you're proud of them for the good work that they did do. You may have got cited for 689 because of this, but you might have only got 2 citations. That's still a good survey because your team is strong. Give them acknowledgement of what they've done all year. Give them acknowledgement what they've done up until this unexpected survey. Give them that acknowledgement because you cannot do it without your team. Make sure that you embrace them with the learning mindset to promote the culture of curiosity and learning. You want them to ask you about different things with the survey. You want them to be able to ask you about different regulations and policies. What's the policy for this? Or because you want them to learn that. If they're able to learn that, they're more likely to follow it. It is very, very hard to find the time, I'm going to be honest, as a director of nursing to teach your team the policies and procedures. So make it a fun situation where you can teach them. Make it a way that it is engaging to everything. Maybe talk about policy and procedure when you have your IDT meetings. Maybe monthly at your nursing meetings, you bring up one policy and procedure and you just briefly talk about it. Maybe when you're on the floors and you have to pick a shift up, you talk to them about the policies and procedures. Whatever way works for you, try to get them in there so they can try to get it into them so they can have that learning environment and ask the questions, because if they're asking questions, they're curious and they want to do the right thing. You want to, again, engage in team building activities, strengthen the bonds and enhancement. Do different team building activities, whether it is challenges, whether it is it might be challenges with different of different things that you want to improve with a quality improvement project. When you do your PIPs, as a project, you can do different challenges, whatever the PIP may be. If it's something as far as making sure your shower rooms are clean, making sure, whatever team has, whatever neighborhood, when we check every single day, the shower rooms is clean, every single shift, they may get something extra, maybe a pizza. Or, one time at a facility I worked at, and I didn't come up with this game. The administrator had this prior, but I loved the game. We did footballs. Now, Pittsburgh is a big football town. So what the challenge was, if they had no falls for the month or they had no pressures also in the neighborhood, for every time that they did something great, they moved 10 yards. And they had a first down. So they moved, first and 10, I think there's first and 10, that's what it's called. But they moved 10 yards. So you move down the field. You could do something like that. If you're big on soccer, whatever it is, make it fun for them that it's a team effort. and engage them as their personalities. You know your blueprints, going to want to know how the structure is and what's the end result. Your actions, they're the team members. They're going to get everybody motivated. So have them be the captains of the challenge. Your nurturers are going to nurture. They're going to help nurture. They're going to be that great. You could do a gratitude circle. You can do something to help them be able to deal with the community and engage and comfort the other team members. For your knowledge people, you could do like a lunch and learn or something to that nature to get them involved. Let them pick what they want to talk about. Let them have those different ideas to help them become more engaged amongst themselves. Your team wants to be engaged, but they need the leader to help be involved, and get your management team involved. When you do these type of tasks, you're more likely to have more team input, more readiness when you're in survey. A lot of what we just talked about was just really building the team up. But if you build a team up, then your team was going to stay. You'll have better outcomes. You'll have a better staff retention, and then you'll have consistency in your staff, which with consistency will have you have better surveys, and you'll be able to teach them and nurture them and knowledge without making it extra hard. And that is a whole concept. We want to be able to do what's right for our residents. We want to be able to reduce the stress for ourselves and for our team, and still keep that quality improvement and that quality process and quality of care across the board, and uplift our residents and our team members. And you can do that by learning the bank methodology. The bank methodology is such a way that it can teach you how to communicate better. It's a tool that I use every day, and it's a tool that I want to teach you. If you want to learn a little bit more about how we teach the bank methodology, we are starting our Inspire Mastery. I can't even say it today. We're starting our Inspire Mastery DON Circle that will be starting in May. If you're interested in that, click the link at the bottom. We can set up an appointment where you can learn. We're going to be teaching leadership fundamentals, the bank methodology, and all the personality signs with the bank methodology, emotional intelligence, and we're also going to be helping you in a 6-month mentorship. So I'm excited about that. I hope these videos have helped you. I hope it's little tidbits that can help you become a stronger leader and build your teams up. We are going to we will have a bonus video and a giveaway for the last day of the month, and I'm excited for that. And I hope this will help you as a leader. Again, this is Michelle Carter, and I am here to help directors and nurses to be able to be more influential, more impactful, that will lead to better incomes and better outcomes for their team, their residents, and their family members. Talk to you soon.